They say the key to viewer retention is to show something immediately that viewers will stay to watch. Who doesn't want to watch mine? But we've shown mine before, so he's not part of this pile of stuff, the 8th pile of stuff. But hey, he's cute, right? Just like me, cute and furry. Well, kind of losing it. But anyway, what I'm not losing is my mind, because this is the 8th pile of stuff, and there's like 4 Hall of Fame level legends here, as well as, well, something pretty cool from across the pond, as it were. So let's get right to it. You know, mine might not react very well to a golden spike to the head. Sorry, mine. We're not going to bust you open. You're too valuable. But this is the golden spike of Kevin Sullivan. Now, it's probably not ring used. I mean, unless he used it at some indie appearance or something. But he would sell these on his table for a very nominal cost, if I could say nominal, at conventions and other appearances. And he would sign them. He'd use his normal signature. He would sort of print. But, and of course, he'd take a picture with you, jamming it into your head. And I mean, this is a true foreign object. Sorry, Ted Turner, an international object. I mean, this is an actual railroad spike, painted gold. And I mean, you could definitely, I mean, if someone broke in right now, I could just bludgeon them. And I don't know about the laws, but I mean, if they're coming in here, they're getting bludgeoned. So that's to them. But that is a legitimate golden spike of Kevin Sullivan right there. And of course, Kevin passed away, I believe it was just last year. So there's no more golden spikes coming out, unfortunately. But that's one right there. Now, of course, we know that Kevin Sullivan was the devil himself. Not the devil, the devil. And who called him that? None other than my all-time favorite, The Dream, Dusty Rhodes. And this is a pretty cool cover of The Dream, cover dated December of 1983, when I would have turned 1. That's right, I'm old. And what a great cover, of course, in his robe, which I believe that was his Stardust robe, if I'm remembering correctly. And you know how they talk about the Undertaker streak kind of being something they lucked into, they didn't really realize it was building to that at first? Well, that's my story with the Pro Wrestling Illustrated run from 1983. It got to a point where I'm like, you know, I have a lot of these issues signed. And at the time, I could still complete it, and I did. At the time, the people that I needed were still alive, and I think, no, there was a second Dusty cover, and I ended up getting that signed for the sole purpose, because it's an action cover. It's not as cool as this one, but everybody else is still alive, maybe not necessarily signing from the 83 that I needed at the time. Now I think most of them are gone, unfortunately. But I have posted a picture on various social medias, and probably the blog itself, with a picture of each 83 cover, as well as them all together. So we'll post that in the post section here on YouTube in the coming days, so you can see them all together. But this is the December 1983 issue, The Dream in all his glory. You know, the one Dream promo era, whatever you want to call it, I was never crazy about was the fur coats. Yeah, Flair did it, and of course Dusty and Magnum. And I know men can wear fur coats. I know it's a thing. I just thought it was ridiculous. It's a little tidbit, because if you know me, you're gonna think it's really weird that I'm saying anything Dusty did was ridiculous, but the fur coats was silly, stupid, and foolish, and they looked terrible. Yeah, but the robe, awesome. So if you think that I have to turn in my Dusty card, Dusty's #1 fan card, because I said that, well, you're mistaken. And we're going to go to a later era now, briefly, because, you know, I don't like to go too far out of the 70s and 80s, but we're going to go into the 90s, 1996 to be exact, and we're going to go to England. Because you see, in 96, April to be exact, WCW Nitro. There's no Monday. WCW Nitro was moving to Friday nights. Now, I have no idea how long it lasted there, but this is a full-color brochure documenting its move and how you could kick off your weekend with WCW Nitro and all the stars, as you can see there. Of course, this is just a couple months before things really changed with the NWO, for better or for worse, however you view it. Of course, we got Hogan, Sting, Savage, Flair, and everybody else there ready to entertain you on Friday nights, and that would be Luger and the LOD. because, I can't necessarily see when they're backwards, and my eyes are terrible anyway. But this is a really cool brochure. I've never seen another one. I'm sure they exist. I'm not saying it's one of a kind, but it's definitely harder to find. Got a little wear there, but hey, you're not buying it anyway because it's not for sale. But WCW Nitro, bang. You'd think DDP would be on it, but he wasn't quite the main eventer yet in '96. So bang, Monday Nitro, WCW Nitro, because it was Fridays. And going from WCW, which was the promotion of the South. I mean, they could have spun it all they wanted to, but it was. We go to an actual territory from the South, which was Mid-South Sports, and of course, Mid-South Wrestling, later the UWF, and this is a coaster, a promotional coaster for Mid-South Sports, autographed by the man himself, Cowboy Bill Watts. Bill Watts. If you know, you know. And there it is with the Mid-South Sports logo, and it is double-sided. And I don't know if he sent these out or if he gave them out. I'm not really sure what what the deal was here, how they were distributed, but this is an original vintage Mid-South Sports Bixby, Oklahoma coaster. And I actually had several of these. I obtained several of these from a known wrestling memorabilia dealer, and the other ones are sold now, so don't bother asking. And no, this isn't for sale, but it's really cool to look at, isn't it? Mid-South Sports. And finally, we're going to go to the first Intercontinental Champion, Mr. Pat Patterson. And this is the WWE Home Video Intercontinental title DVD release, autographed by Pat himself. And he did put first Int Champ, and I had that personally signed at one of the Legends of the Ring shows. That's where I met Pat twice. And there it is in bold silver Sharpie. And these were fun releases. They did one for the WWE Championship, one for the World Heavyweight title, which of course included other matches with Big Gold, and the Intercontinental title. Those are the only three that I have, the only three that I remember. It's possible they did more, but at the time I was still collecting a lot of the physical media, as we all should. I mean, we all should be hanging on to it, because you never know when it's going to disappear, and I've gotten into that before, and I will get into it again. But this was a nice release. The funny thing is, most people remember, is the booklet itself from the release. And of course, they were trying to show Pat Patterson in the midst of all this Intercontinental Championship glory. And instead, they showed us Buddy Jack Roberts. Hollywood Blonde, Fabulous Freebird, Buddy Jack Roberts. I mean, I used to always bitch and moan that they should have hired me at some point to be some sort of historian or something, and it's kind of shows they should have, but I'm not bitter. I mean, they have AI now, right? That's what I'm reading, so whatever. But yeah, this was a great release, as a lot of the WWE Home Video DVDs were, and it's even more fun to have it signed. So that's just a brief little 10-minute pile of stuff. Nothing too advanced, nothing too exciting. Well, it's always exciting, but we're not breaking any ground, but I don't really want to break ground. See, the point, even at the time of the blog, which the blog still exists, but it's given way to vlog entries, was that I wanted to celebrate the everyday memorabilia, the stuff that anybody could grab. Now, I know I say that, I'm kind of hypocritical with a movie prop behind me, which, if you don't know the story, it's on here. It's on the vlog here. Go back. But I like celebrating the stuff that you could buy in the stores, you could buy at the merchandise stands that everybody has a chance to own. Because that's the true memorabilia. That is the stuff that people remember. They remember the memorabilia as much as they do the stars that it represents. So that's what I've always liked to celebrate most, and that's what you'll see here on the vlog. Now, I have a few small ring-worn things, but honestly, I mean, I'm just not very big on smelly used men's undergarments. piles. You know, it's just not my thing. Plus, they're very expensive. And I just don't feel like spending a lot of money on, like, poop stains. So there you have it. There's another pile of stuff. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're just joining us for the first time, please like and subscribe. I mean, it means more than ever here on this platform for you to do that when algorithms across social media are killing us all, killing us people who just want to bring you good content and, you know, have fun doing it. So please like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. As Mike Rips would say, smash that like and subscribe. Smash that like button. Whatever he says, he's great. You want some food vlogs, you go to Mike Rips. Go for it. He's on here. You can find him. And while you're chowing down on what he shows you, keep watching the vlog because we got a lot more memorabilia coming up, more piles of stuff. You never know what you're going to see here on the vlog.